Hey guys, I'm you, and I have to tell you that I screwed up. So, for those who have been loosely following my channel, you can notice that back in 2020 I said, hey, let's redevelop my very first game and take advantage of everything that I had learned in the past 8 years by then. Well, turns out that for some reason I stopped developing it. As you can tell, consistency is not my number one skill. However, I decided it's time. It's time to finish it. It's time to do it. And I told myself, hey Gio, let's find the motivation, let's find everything you need, and let's get down with this. So that's what I did. I re-enabled my Unity account, I re-downloaded Unity, and I said, hey, Unity has a great cloud service, right? So everything's gonna be there. Well, guess what? Nothing was there. All the projects, the silly projects that you create for no reason at all, just to test mechanics and everything, those were there. But Sopwith Sim was not there. So, remember on the last video how I went through the 7 stages of grief? Well, I guess I have to do it again, but in a greater level, because I lost everything. And I mean everything. So, all the scripts, all the models, the Unity project, all the references, and all files that I had downloaded to reference myself to create the model, all were lost. So, as you can tell, it struck me really hard because I really wanted to finish it. I really wanted to continue developing it from the time that I left off. But I guess it's time to start over and make it better and make it functional. Because as far as I can remember, it was not working. So, let's go back to the beginning. The year was 2012. I actually started developing games. I created the first game called Game E, which I cannot find anymore because the page I published it on, it's no longer active. So, too bad for that. And then, after that, I decided I wanted to create a flight simulator. Yeah, a flight simulator. So, I got onto that. I really like aviation, it's my passion. And I started with Flight Simulator 98. And then went up to Flight Simulator 2000. When I recall, Flight Simulator 2000 had one nice little biplane, the Sopwith Camel. Sopwith Camel was one of those World War I planes that really struck attention to me because it was simple, as all planes back then. But this one had something that I really liked about. I don't know if it was the color. I don't know if it was just the nostalgia. Or whatnot, but I really liked it. So I decided I wanted to create a flight simulator that featured the Sopwith Camel. Well, I did it. It was pretty great. I really felt proud about it. It only had one level, if you can even call it a level. You just took off from a hangar and, well, you found out the enemy. The enemy was a Fokker DR1. And yeah, I say that with a hard O because YouTube is not gonna cancel me on this. Fokker DR1. This was the plane that was actually used by the Red Baron, so it was pretty historically accurate. And actually, the Sopwith Camel was the plane used to take down the Red Baron, so it was pretty cool as well. And well, I decided, hey, why not? Let's just do it again and do it better. And then disaster happened, where I lost everything. So, we're gonna start over, and we're gonna make it better, and we're gonna make it nice and playable and fun, and we're gonna release it. I'm gonna have you guys follow me on this journey because it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a painful one, but it's gonna be a really exciting one. So let's get started.
If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me.
The first thing that I needed to understand on this project is that Unity is not a flight simulation platform. Unity is a game development platform. And well, that meant that I needed to develop a physics system that allowed things to fly in Unity. There's different approaches to this. Some people like to just remove gravity from the object. Some people want to create more complex things. In my case, I may try to find a middle ground because I don't want a full fidelity flight simulator engine, but I don't want to take gravity out of the planes because that's not correct. So we're gonna see how we're gonna do it, and I don't want to download a physics system for flight simulation because I want to create it. I want to challenge myself. This is not a commercial game. I know it's gonna be harder, but it's gonna be more enjoyable. So we need to understand that in order for planes to fly, they need 4 forces acting upon them. We need money pushing you forward, we need dreams pushing you upwards, then we have the FAA dragging you backwards, and we have reality bringing you back down. Okay, no, just kidding. Pushing you forward, we have the thrust generated by the engine. Then we have the lift, which is pushing you upwards, which is created by the wings plus the airspeed. Then we have the drag, which is trying to drag you backwards and trying to stop you from moving. And then we have gravity, which is pushing you down. When a plane starts moving forward, thanks to the thrust, the wings are going to start generating lift. So whenever the thrust actually overcomes the drag, the plane is going to be accelerating. And once the lift overcomes the gravity, the plane is going to start lifting up from the ground. Whenever all 4 forces are in equilibrium, the plane is actually flying level and straight and not accelerating. So basically, cruise flight. Whenever you're flying on a plane and you get to 36,000 feet, the plane is really stable, everything is quiet and nice. That's when all 4 forces are in equilibrium. Whenever you want to change direction, whenever you want to climb or descend, or change your speed, that's when you actually lose equilibrium from one of those forces in order to do whatever you want. So for example, if you're flying really fast and you want to slow down, then you're gonna decrease thrust. If you decrease thrust, drag is gonna be more powerful than the thrust. So it's gonna bring the airplane to a slower speed. And then you increase the thrust once again in order to bring that to equilibrium once again. So that's how everything works. Now, how is lift produced? Because thrust is really simple. Basically, money creates thrust because you have to pay for fuel. But wings are a little bit trickier. Planes fly thanks to the Bernoulli effect. So basically, whenever you have a wing flying, you're gonna see a shape, a really specific shape, which is called airfoil. Now the airfoil forces the air that is moving above the wing to go faster than the wind that is blowing below the wing. What that causes is a low pressure zone on top of the wing, and what that causes is everything to be pushed upwards because you have a stronger force below the wing than on top of the wing. However, this does not explain everything because there are planes who have symmetrical wings. There are planes who have flat wings, and they still fly. Well, that's a topic for another video. But for now, we just need to understand that we have those 4 forces that are acting upon a plane, and we need to mimic those forces inside of Unity. How these forces interact with each other, how these forces are calculated, that's something that we're gonna learn along the ride. So stick with me on this one, guys. I'm gonna try to start releasing videos every week or every 2 weeks if possible. And from here, we're gonna have a finished game. We're gonna have a pretty nice game and a really fun one for you guys to also play. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope we see you on the next one. So cheers. Don't forget to like and subscribe if I really earned it. And we'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.